welcome to the Carolina Snowflakes Podcast, where two Southerners come to terms with their liberal snowflake tendencies. We're your hosts. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Jason. And we're here with this week's episode of the Carolina Snowflakes Podcast. This episode's called NFTs, Pornstars, and Buttholes.
Excuse me?
Yes, NFTs, Pornstars, and Buttholes.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh my is right. They're all connected, and I will assure you by the end you will understand how we got from one to the next to the next. But suffice to say, that's the rabbit hole we're going down.
Oh.
Well, it's been almost a year since the last time we talked about NFTs on the show. Is like we're talking about NFTs today. But I figured it would be a good time to update because a lot has changed in the NFT market in the last year.
It really has. The last time we talked about it was when it was still pretty new.
Yeah.
And with Beeple,
yeah,
the artist who made like $69 million or something like that with some 5,000 digital artwork pieces.
Yes, that was a year ago. So in that time period, a lot of things have changed. And I thought maybe I'd start off with, we would have some facts that we would talk about real quick. Some facts about NFTs. And as a reminder, an NFT is like a token that you can buy digitally on the internet. And when you buy them, it basically means you own some piece of data, something on the blockchain, and you own it forever. And it is what it is. It's very complicated, but essentially you're buying JPEGs is what it boils down to. Yeah,
you're owning like something digital.
Yeah, and really what you're owning is just a number on a blockchain. That's all you really own, and that number points to a JPEG. It's all very confusing, and suffice it to say, what you own is a JPEG or a number.
It's like a code, yeah.
Yeah. So the NFT market right now is currently valued at $31 billion. That's how much money there is in NFTs right now.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
$31 billion. So in the last year, Twitter has set up a verification function to let you use your NFT as your Twitter avatar, and it will be guaranteed to be yours. So a lot of NFT people have been able to get a lot of clout on Twitter because you can prove that it's yours, that you own it.
Speaking of Twitter, did you know that Jack Dorsey sold his very first tweet?
He did sell his very first tweet.
Through an NFT.
He did.
For $3 million.
$3 million. And you own a tweet. And all it says is like just setting up Twitter.
Yeah, testing.
That's basically what it says.
Yeah.
And somebody bought that for $3 million. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did know that. There were about 30,000 unique NFT buyers per month in 2021. So,
wow.
Yeah, so about 30,000 unique people per month are buying and selling NFTs, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Ethereum is the main thing that people use to buy and sell NFTs. Bitcoin is still around, but Ethereum's the one people use for NFTs. I'm not exactly sure why, but that's just the case.
Well, I think Ethereum has really branded themselves for the NFT market.
Yeah, I think so. And so it's just the one that is being used. Mm-hmm. And June 2017, one Ether is what they're called, or ETH is what people say. One Ether was worth about $380. Today, I just checked it before we came on here, one ETH was about $3,188.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. And according to our genius calculations, that's like a 780% increase in 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is... we'll say that's a good investment.
Yeah.
Do you think in 2017,
Too bad we didn't do it.
Yeah, I know. Do you think 5 years ago I would have been able to convince you to spend $380 on an Ether?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, well, but I wish I did.
I would have said a what?
Yeah, I wish I did. Well, it's there. That's where we are. So I noticed a thing that a lot of gaming companies nowadays and a lot of NFT companies use .io instead of .com or whatever. And I wanted to figure out what that was all about. So it's actually kind of funny. .io is actually just a country code for the Indian Ocean.
Oh.
Yeah.
I really had no idea.
Yeah. And but in computer lingo, IO is input-output. And so I think a lot of the tech nerds were kind of attracted to the name .io and thought it was interesting. And so they started making them. And Twitch.io is probably one of the biggest ones right now.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the reasons they do that is because the names there are much cheaper. You can get a simple name like Twitch.io, but Twitch.com would be hard to get because it's old. So I think .io has become the new thing for NFTs and gaming like in general.
Does anyone from the Indian Ocean mind?
No, they don't. And actually, Google has considered it to be, has basically said that they recognize that it's not all traffic from the people that live in the area of the Indian Ocean, and that like it's basically become a tech space.
Okay.
Which is really, really weird. It has nothing to do with the Indian Ocean anymore.
That's so weird.
It's just the one people pick. So Mark Rubio did this thing where he made his website, he advertised it as Rube.io, so it's spelled Rubio.
Rubio.
And so that way he bought like whatever domain, like, you know, Marco Rubio for president, #2020.com or whatever. And he basically made Ruby.io reroute to that website. So that way you could get around having to buy an expensive URL.
So basically he had a super nerdy person on his campaign
Yeah,
team.
it was smart though, if you think about it. And so it's become like trendy and hippie. So you'll hear a lot of these websites and NFTs have .io in them. And that was why. So like one of the biggest ones is OpenSea.io, spelled open and then sea like the ocean. Mm-hmm. And OpenSea.io is like the biggest sales platform for NFTs, and it uses all Ethereum.
Isn't it kind of like it's almost like eBay or something for
basically
for NFTs?
Yes, it's where you buy
or Etsy or Amazon or any shopping website.
It's the biggest one and the one with like any credibility really as far as like the mainstream is concerned.
Yeah.
So that's like some pretty interesting random facts about the things that have changed in NFTs. And one of the things is that the biggest, most famous NFT collection is a collection called the Bored Ape Yacht Club. That is the biggest one. It is 10,000 NFTs. Each one is like a picture of a monkey and an ape. And the monkeys look different. They're like cartoon monkeys, and each one has like a different hat or whatever. The backgrounds are different. It's weird, but there's 10,000 of them, and they're currently selling at 105 Ether. I just checked them before we got on here. About 105 Ether, which that's about $334,000.
What? For a cartoon monkey?
$334,000 a piece.
Wow. Now, are those sold on the OpenSea?
Yeah, they're on OpenSea.
And that's just a collection of them.
That's the biggest collection. That's the biggest NFT, or not the biggest, but the biggest amount of money. The most expensive, most famous, most luxurious. If you're
luxurious monkey cartoon.
Yeah, if you're someone who's anybody, you've got a luxurious monkey cartoon.
And those are the things I guess you were saying that could be used as your avatar. Mm-hmm. Okay, on
you
Twitter.
can use them on Twitter, and then your avatar on OpenSea, because they have places where you can talk there. There are other forums, Discord places. There are places you can't get in unless you are a member of Bored Ape. So there are parties that are only
exclusive.
For Bored Ape Yacht Club members. There are they get invited to buy coins before other people. You get a lot of benefits for being a Bored Ape.
So it's exclusivity and prestige.
Now, to give you an idea of who would be buying, over $250,000 pictures of JPEG monkeys.
Yes, please.
In sports, we have Mark Cuban, Steph Curry, Shaq, Serena Williams. These are all very, very big names.
And they have purchased.
Each one of them, all of those have Bored Apes.
Okay.
In entertainment, we have Justin Bieber, Jimmy Fallon, Madonna, Eminem, Paris Hilton, Logan Paul, Snoop Dogg, Gwyneth Paltrow, Travis Barker. All of them are Bored Ape Yacht Club owners.
So if you own one, then you can say you have bragging rights of like, I'm in the same club as these famous people.
As these guys. And what's really interesting is the value of them changes, not really so much based on what the ape looks like, but the value of them changes based on how close you are to one that someone else owns. So everyone knows Shaq owns like, say, 4,800. That's not the actual one he owns. I can't remember the number. But let's say that you want the one that's right next to his, makes it worth more, because it's like, mine's the one in line that's right next to Shaq's, so it's worth more.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. The celebrity that owns them, how famous they are, kind of varies the price.
It's like 6 degrees of separation.
Exactly. From when I was looking at them today, the price, like I said, was from 105 Ether up. So the closer you were to celebrities, they might go for 112. And then for ones that are far away or not very good looking, they might be like 105.
And so the creators of this collection are making bank.
Oh, yeah.
And who would have thought?
They made a ridiculous amount of money.
Wow.
Yeah. And so there's only 10,000 of them, so get in quick if you want one. It's only $300 and something thousand.
Pocket change.
That's the positive side of what's happening in NFTs. But they have also taken a turn. So now we've discussed NFTs. It's time to go on to Pornstars and Buttholes.
Yeah.
Because I believe that's what you all clicked on this for, really. All that.
It's
all
why
that
I'm here.
NFT nonsense about IOs and everything was just boring. Let's talk about Pornstars. So there is a porn star by the name of Lana Rhoades. I personally hadn't seen any of her work. I wasn't familiar with her, so I did a little research to find out who she was.
You did?
Yes.
For the show.
For the show.
That's great.
She's a porn actress and a vlogger. She's actually mostly just an influencer now. So she began her porn career in 2016 when she was 19 years old. By late 2017, she had ended her career. So her career was about 2 years long, and she starred in over 250 adult films.
Oof. Oof.
I found that hilarious. In 2 years, 250 movies.
Well, I mean,
that's one every few days.
that's gross.
Uh-huh.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but at this time, in late 2017, she decided she didn't want to work in the porn industry anymore because they made her do things she didn't like. So she
Right.
started distributing her own porn with her partner. So they started putting out their own porn and being on Pornhub and stuff and kept winning awards such as Best Anal Sex Scene from the Adult Video Awards.
So, well, I mean, that's kind of empowering. She decided to do her own thing.
I mean, yeah, it is. And I think it's also kind of cool to win an award for like, you guys had the best butt sex we've seen this year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. It's good to have goals and to be like, my butt sex was number 1 in the entire world this year. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, well, somebody's got to be number one.
Yeah, I
at
mean,
it.
so we have to know who had the best butt sex. And in 2017, it was her.
Good job, Lana.
Uh-huh. So she was the most searched porn actress on Pornhub with over 345 million views in 2019.
Wow.
345 million views.
Very popular.
Yeah, she was very popular. She won lots and lots of things. So she's kind of running her own business right now, which makes her seem like a boss bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, things kind of take a weird turn because she decides to get into the NFT space. Because what better thing for a porn actress who has the best anal sex of 2017 to do than to make an NFT project? So they were basically just like different cartoon pictures of her wearing different clothes that you were going to buy. And it was supposed to be a collection of 6,000 NFT things that she was going to release. She paid some artist to make all of them, and she started hyping
But not
it
real
up.
photos of her.
No, they were cartoons.
Cartoons.
She paid some artist to make these cartoons of her that are wearing different clothes and in different poses in different places. And she was like, we're going to sell them. And she started pumping it up. It was called Crypto Sis, like Crypto Sister, but like Crypto Sis was the name of it.
Of the collection?
Yeah, of the tokens she was going to be selling.
Oh, okay.
The Crypto Sis tokens. These NFTs that were Lana Rhoades. And a lot of times she'd have like a sash on that said Lana. And she was like a sexualized cartoon with big old honking bazongas, you know.
Right.
Just what you would imagine a porn star cartoon would look like.
Yes.
And she said, like, get in this. It's going to be an investment. It's going to go up in value. We have a roadmap that's going to tell you all these different phases, and you're getting invited to things, and it's going to be great. They all sold out. And then she decided to take the money, the $1.5 million that she had made from selling all these NFTs, and take it off the account and cancel the project and say, I'm not doing anything else with it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so all these people were now left with these JPEGs that are no longer worth anything because she's not investing in the project anymore and not pumping it up. And so with no more pumping it up, they're worthless and no one wants to buy them. So these people that spent this money on this investment are now left holding basically worthless NFTs.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and that is a scam that's basically called a rug pull in the scam community. It's a scam that goes back for forever. It's basically a pump and dump in stocks where you hype something up and then you pull everything out and basically leave them holding something worthless.
Oh, no. So basically they can't do anything with those, right?
No, well, I mean, they still own them and they could still sell them, but who would want to buy them if she's no longer continuing in the project, which means none of the promises that you were going to get are going to be fulfilled.
The perks or the benefits that would go along with the purchase.
Right. That you're not going to get any of those because they're not doing any investing in it, but you still own the thing you bought. Okay. That's how they can't sue them. You can't do anything if that happens to you.
You do technically own it.
Because all you did was buy this digital picture.
Huh. Okay.
And the fact that they promised you that other things were going to come with that digital picture is on you. That's just you being gullible. Those are promises they don't have to keep.
Is that because the law hasn't caught up to NFTs and protecting purchasers in the way that they would say, like, the what's that website, like the GoFundMe's and the startup funding websites where people will say, I'm going to make this thing, and if you donate X dollars, you'll get XYZ. Well, now they can actually be held legally accountable for that.
Right.
If they don't fulfill the obligation.
Right. And I think in the NFT market, there's fine print that basically tells you all you're buying is this JPEG, and anything that is told to you that comes with that JPEG is up to you to whether or not you want to believe that.
Yeah, because I can remember when like Kickstarter schemes were taking off.
See, this is different though, because they are actually giving you, in the fine print, they are actually giving you what you're saying you're buying. They're giving you the JPEG.
Yeah, but they also are promising this other thing. I mean, with Kickstarter, it would be like you would get a handful of different things.
Exactly. And I think Kickstarter as a company decided they needed to get rid of that. And I think the law kind of stepped in and helped. And I think that just hasn't happened in this space yet. I think
because it's so new.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't understand it.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason I wanted to catch everyone up and keep everyone in our audience to know, because these things are out there, and it's not impossible to get scammed by them. Like, you have to be on the lookout for these types of things and understand how this works, or else you are susceptible. And I feel like I'm doing this as a public service.
This is a favor.
Yeah, so we're talking about Pornstars for you. So the craziest part about Lana Rhoades' particular rug pull is that she did it in one day, in 24 hours. So the things went on sale on January 22nd of this year, and then on January 23rd, the wallet is empty.
Oh, wow.
So she pulled out in 24 hours.
And just took the money and ran.
And when asked about it, she's been basically just saying, like, listen, I did a Discord AMA, ask me anything on Discord, and they were being super mean, so I decided I didn't want to do this project anymore because they were dicks.
Oh, okay.
And what's funny about that is that people have looked into this, and that Discord AMA happened after the money had been taken out of the wallet.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a bullshit story anyway.
Yeah, that's not really a good excuse.
But it's what she's going on. And I mean, she's going to get away with it because, I mean, a bunch of dudes, and let's be honest, they were all dudes who bought this. A bunch of dudes who love porn bought this thing and got ripped off. It's not really going to be headline news. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why we're here, to talk about things like this.
We're here to talk about the news that no one else will talk about.
Yeah, the news that no one else will talk about. So yeah, essentially there's a lot of these rug pull scams, and that's how they all essentially work. They tell you you're going to sell these awesome JPEGs. They're going to come with these great benefits. It's only going to go up in value. People buy them. And then sometimes, not usually in 24 hours, sometimes the accounts just end up empty. And if you're not savvy enough to check the wallets and to follow the money, you might not even know what happened. You just know no one wants to buy your shit. I think that happened to some of these Lana Rhoades people. They didn't follow the story, and next thing they know, their thing's not worth anything, and no one wants to buy it, and they don't know what happened. So avoid that happening to you. Try to do your research and make sure you're not getting the wool pulled over your eyes if you do want to buy an NFT, because I think that it's not necessarily the worst idea in the world, even though some of them are crazy, including the one we're going to talk about next. So the discovery of this next one was kind of a funny story, because I, as a person who follows this whole market because I find it very fascinating, and I also think it's kind of important to know about to avoid getting scammed myself. So I watched the NFT scams. I also think kind of it's funny to laugh at how ridiculous things have gotten. And one night I discovered something that wore on me. It weighed on my brain all day, and I had to go to work and live my normal life with this knowledge in my head and come home. So I burst in the door and I was like, hey, Amanda, I have got to show you something. And what I had to show you was a gallery, an NFT gallery that was going on sale that was called La Belle Anus.
Yes.
And that is French for the beautiful asshole, basically.
Yes.
And what it is it's a collection of digital drawings of adult video porn stars' buttholes, their anuses, but digitally drawn, like close-ups of their buttholes. And those are for sale as NFT tokens. And you looked shocked.
Yeah.
You were like, is this real? And I was like, yeah, apparently it is real.
Well, I was like, why are you showing me buttholes?
Yeah. But I was like, you won't believe this exists. And so we decided, like, this is something we have to tell the world about. Like, there can't be NFT digitally drawn buttholes for available and me not mention it.
Yeah.
So this is a true thing. It exists, and it is part of this NFT world. I don't know if it's a scam. That part I can't say. It seems legit.
No, I don't think it's a scam. Actually, they had the sale.
Yes.
They did the big
sale,
the
which was
big
like
anus sale
this weekend or last weekend or something.
Yeah, it was like a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago.
Yeah.
I think, and they had up for sale 2,000 plus one label anuses for sale through their collection. And if you want to go see this website and their collection, it's on the lagaleriedesNFT.com. And it has a breakdown of all the different label anuses.
Yes.
As well as, most recently, after we looked at it, which was like a month or so ago, they had a special add-on collection of 69 boobs and 69 vaginas of 69 top-voted porn stars.
Of course they did. Well, the butthole sold so well, they were like, we got to do boobs and vaginas.
Well, I think it wasn't that they sold with it because they hadn't sold yet at all.
Oh.
They sold all of them at the same time.
Oh, I see.
I think there was so much buildup and excitement.
Yeah, they were like, we could throw 69 more boobs and 69 vaginas in here.
Yeah, and it'll be great. And so then they started ranking or tiering the purchases. So not only would you own these NFTs, these pictures of boobs, vagines, and anuses, but you would also get special perks.
Great.
If you, for example, if you were an owner of a trio, which would be like all three of like one porn star.
Oh, so you have her vagina, her boobs, and her butthole.
Yeah. Then you were to receive an annual trip to Portugal for like a 5-night stay at some kind of hotel where they were going to have this on display.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I was a little confused because when you read the descriptors, first of all, this website's incredibly tacky.
Yeah.
It's white background with black lettering and then gold.
Gold, yeah.
Gold
Black,
everywhere.
gold, and white, yeah.
And in fact, all of the digital images are in gold embellished frames.
Yeah, they do make it look very fancy, like almost like a jewelry website.
But it's tacky.
But it's tacky. It's like a tacky jewelry website.
Really, really tacky.
With pictures of buttholes.
But one of the things that kind of confused me at first was it was 2,000 plus one label anuses. And I was like, well, what is that?
One?
What's the one? Well, the one was a masterpiece, what they were calling the masterpiece.
The masterpiece, okay.
So that was kind of the prized NFT artwork for sale, but you couldn't see it ahead of time. Oh. You had to wait until everything went on sale.
And then it unveiled.
And then they did a big unveiling of the masterpiece, which I don't actually know what it was. Was it a bunch of label anuses?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
They didn't say?
No, they just called it the masterpiece.
Maybe it's just a really nice butthole.
And you really, really, really wanted to own it because...
Like perfectly symmetrical wrinkles?
Yeah, like the perks of owning a trio. If you purchased the masterpiece, you were to get 5% of the resale of that masterpiece for life.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
If it goes up and people keep selling it, you keep making money. Interesting. I wonder how much did they go for? I remember we figured it out.
So they used Solana.
Which, yeah, they didn't use Ethereum, which is odd.
Yeah, there was a little bit of uproar about that, apparently. But one of the NFTs, the value was 6.9 Sol, which is about the equivalent of around $700.
Yeah, $700, which is not bad for a butthole picture, if you ask me.
But it's not really a picture. It's a drawing.
Yeah.
A digital image of a butthole of a porn star.
Yeah, well, if anybody wanted to buy a digital drawing of my butthole for $700, it's for sale.
Actually, yes, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're
so we settled that. But they referred to all of these porn stars as muses.
Muses, yes. They didn't call them porn stars.
On the website, they refer to them as muses.
Yes, I'm the muse for the art.
Yes. And some of the actual porn stars were on board with this NFT collection sale, and some were not.
Yeah, it was interesting. The scandal that I went over earlier with Lana Rhoades happened before this. And she was to be included in the collection. And that was a thing where people were pissed off. Like, so if this is a scam, then I can get scammed by the same chick twice, which is, possible.
Right. But that meant that if you were one of the stars who didn't participate, you weren't going to get paid, even though they were going to use a likeness of your butthole.
Right. They make the argument that because it's not a photograph of your butthole, but actually a computer rendered drawing of a photograph of your butthole, that they own it. And really, your best bet is to be on board with them and get some of the money, because if you say no, they're going to sell it anyway and you're going to get nothing. Right,
because they promised if you signed up as an ambassador, one of these muses, and you were on board with it and helped promote it, they'd give you a cut of the sales.
That goes to another reason of why you shouldn't send nudie pics and stuff like that and have them get out into the environment.
Somebody could sell your nudes.
Yeah, like what if one day your nude gets drawn by a computer and then someone can sell it as an NFT?
And right, they can argue that they own it.
It's even funnier to think that they own it, because it's like now there's two creepers involved. One that turned your nude into an NFT and another one that bought it. And both of them are owning your body.
Profiting off of you.
Yeah, so be careful if you send nudes out there, because you never know what could happen.
Right.
I mean,
you might have to save up and try to go buy yourself back.
Buy your own nude back. Wow. When I was a kid, I used to, like, old people would be like, the world has gone nuts. The world has just gone completely crazy. And kid me would be like, yeah, not really. You're just old and you don't understand, right? And so I'm wondering, are there young people out there who are like, yeah, of course we sell drawings of porn star buttholes for $700 on the internet. Why? The fact that you think that's weird makes you an old, weird man.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, is that the case here?
Have you reached old man status?
Have I turned into the old guy that I didn't understand as a child? Or is selling JPEGs of drawings of porn star buttholes for $700 a piece indeed a weird thing for the country to be doing?
I mean, I think honestly at this point in time, anything goes.
Yeah.
I'm really not surprised much anymore.
I know, and I just can't figure that one out. I don't know if it's me that's crazy or the world, but either way, the whole thing is hilarious and absolutely nuts. It's just a fun thing to pay attention to.
It's weird, and guys, definitely go check out that website. It's fascinating.
It's interesting. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. And if you want to hear some other more interesting shit that we have talked about on our show, you can find that on our website,
carolinasnowflakes.com.
Or you can visit our Facebook page where we talk with other porn star butthole aficionados.
Facebook.com/Carolina Snowflakes.
And if you want to pay $700 for a picture of my butthole, that is, email me about that and I'll get it right to you.
carolinasnowflakes@gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Thanks for listening. Bye.